welcome back to another episode of Thrifted Transformations. This week I'm going to be doing a swimsuit transformation, and if you are new to this channel and don't know what Thrifted Transformations is, it's the show where I go thrifting for old clothing and I transform them into something new. I found this dress at Savers for $7, and while shopping I was feeling around for fabric that had a 4-way stretch and felt like a swimsuit. Swimsuit fabric should not feel heavy or change color when it's wet, so if you're unsure, then test it out at home first. The first thing I did was remove the skirt from the top of the dress so I can play around with where I want the print to be placed. At first, I was thinking about making it a halter design, but I decided on having the 2 flowers on the chest because 1, it looks like a really cute bra, and 2, it gave me more fabric to cut out the swimsuit. I went ahead and smoothed out the fabric over my dress form and marked the side seams, and for the back side, I marked how low I wanted the back to be. You only need to mark one side because when we lay it down and chew the markings, we will just be folding it in half and cutting it to make sure both sides are symmetrical. When you're working with a print like this, it's important that you match the print on both sides before you cut. I took my time making sure each flower was laying right on top of the other. After the front and back pieces are cut, I took a bikini bottom I had at home and traced it onto each piece. I kind of just estimated where it was going to be placed. Then again, there wasn't much fabric left at the bottom anyway, so I just placed the bikini bottom at the very bottom. To trace the front bikini, I had to lift out the back side so I can follow the shape on top. I don't know why the backside was so horribly drafted, but I just lined it up with the front piece and trimmed the excess fabric away. Here is where you would make your bottoms more covered or more cheeky. Mine's are going to be more cheeky. Once I finalized my swimsuit, I cut a lining layer out of black fabric and can now sew each individual suit together at the side seams and crotch seam. Moving on to the straps, I cut out a long strip that was about 2 inches and sewed a 1/4 inch elastic at the very edge. I just used my serger to do this, but if you don't have one, you can just sew it with a zigzag stitch. After the elastic is sewn to the edge, fold it over twice to hide the stitching that you just did, and then top stitch it with a zigzag stitch along the middle to finish it off. Then all you have to do is trim away the extra fabric, and now you have a beautiful thin strap that lays flat. Next, I'll be creating some loops for the back by cutting out 8 1.5 inch rectangle pieces, folding them in half and sewing at a 1/4 inch. Trim away the extra seam allowance and then turn it inside out. Figure out where each loop will be placed and then place the lining swimsuit and outer swimsuit right sides together by putting one swimsuit inside the other. This is where the straps and loops will be tucked in before sewing everything together. I I pinned the straps and loops in place and can now sew the two swimsuits along the neckline all the way to the backside. I'm sewing on my regular machine first to make sure I catch all the loops. Make sure you're using polyester thread because it's stronger in chlorine than cotton, and also change your needle to a ballpoint needle to protect the elasticity of the fabric. Turn the swimsuit inside out at the bottom because we haven't closed that part off yet, and you should have a very clean looking swimsuit that can even be reversible if you want. I turned the swimsuit back to the wrong side so I can sew some elastic to the back so it doesn't droop. With the swimsuit turned back to the right side, I pinned the leg holes and serged the two swimsuit layers together. Lastly, we just have to hem the raw edges. I took some 1/4 inch elastic and measured it around the leg holes, making it a little bit smaller so that it can stretch. You can also wrap the elastic around your own leg and butt to make sure it won't be too tight on you. Sew the elastic ends together so that it's a circle, and then stretch and sew around the leg holes with a zigzag stitch as you hem. Here is the final transformation. It's been a while since I made a swimsuit, so I hope you guys learned something new and it inspires you to create your own. If you do, feel free to share with me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Those are the social media pages that I use the most, and I would love to see your guys' take on this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye!